Alright, what's going on, everybody? Back with another video. I know it's been so long since I made the last one, but I finally have something for the Mac Pro. I've got the Radeon RX Vega 64 here that I purchased yesterday. I drove a couple hours to go get it, and it's finally here. I wasn't really going to get this. I saw it on Craigslist. It was listed at $250, but I was able to talk the guy down to around $200, so it's a pretty good deal. And I decided, you know what the hell? Why not go ahead and get it? So here it is. Today we're going to be unboxing it, installing in the Mac Pro, and running some benchmarks. So let's go ahead and get started with opening her up. As you can see here, it's the Sapphire version, Vega 64. Open her up here. Let's see what we got. This is a used card, by the way. It wasn't really a great deal, but it was a kind of an okay deal. So I was like, you know what, I might as well go ahead and pick it up. I don't really have anything else to use the money for anyway. So, go ahead and open the card up here. And here she is. As you guys can see, it's the reference design card. Nice. Very nice condition. Never mined with or anything like that. It was always just a stock card, stock BIOS and all that stuff. And it does have the dual BIOS switch right there, if you guys can see that. Focus it on that. Yeah, you guys can kind of see it there. It is a dual BIOS, dual 8 pins, which I'll get into in a second. You are going to need some supplemental power from your Mac Pro if you're going to run this in your Mac Pro. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a nice, sturdy, solid card. Good design. Hopefully it cools well. I know these Vega cards do run hot, so yeah. Let's go ahead and put this back and get the Mac Pro up here so we can go ahead and get to installing it. Alright, so here we are back inside the Mac Pro. If you guys aren't familiar with the setup on the Mac Pro, it is a dual x5675, 3.06 gigahertz, dual 6-core Xeons, 32 gigs of RAM. The Sapphire Pulse RX 580, which I didn't really make a video about when I put it in, but I did switch to the Pulse 580. Samsung 970 Evo. PCI Express SSD on a DT120 adapter board, the USB 3.1 card, which I'll put a link to in the description in case you guys want to check that out. And then last but not least, Windows SSD and the Mac Pro power supply Pixeless mod, which you are going to need if you want to run the Vega 64, because the Vega 64 is a dual 8-pin GPU, and if you don't run supplemental power from either like the SATA slots or SATA slots from the optical drive or the actual drive bays themselves, the card won't run at all. So you're going to need to run supplemental power from one of those two SATA slots or something like that, or run an external power supply. Anyway, you can power that thing, because if you don't run extra power to it, it's not going to turn on. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on ripping out the RX 580. Undo these connectors. I'll take the card out first. Undo those connectors. Just go ahead and take those out. As you can see here, it's the Pulse 580, which has been pretty reliable. Only reason I'm switching out is because I got a pretty decent deal on a Vega card, so I'm going to take that out and probably end up putting in the Hackintosh, which I'll make a video on later on. Most likely, that'll be the next video you guys see. So, go ahead and grab the Vega here. As you can see, go ahead and slide it in the Mac Pro. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure it's clipped in there pretty good. Go ahead and put these connectors together so that we can have two 8-pin PCIe power cables going into the Vega, and there. And those are all inserted into place. And like I said before, if you don't run supplemental power from either of the SATA slots, on top or the bottom, or you don't run an external power supply or something like that, the card will not power on, or when you go to use it under a high load, like editing videos or playing a game, it might shut down on you. So just keep that in mind if you do plan on running. Let's go ahead and get it back on the main setup, fire it up, and run some benchmarks. Everything hooked back up. And let's go ahead and give it a boot. And as you guys know from the last videos, my Mac takes forever to turn on because either the power button's broken or the power supply's going. Either one of those two, but I gotta press the button a bunch of times. So let me wait for this to boot up or come back to life. Alright, we're starting to boot up. I hear the fans. This machine does take a long time to jam sometimes, so. And there we have it. I have lights on the keyboard. If I can come up here and show you guys. Oh, sorry about the dust. It's dirty, but I got lights on the keyboard. Controller's lit up somewhat. You can't really see it on camera, but it's lit up. Well, that's booting. I do want to talk to you guys about this guy right here, the new Hackintosh project that I'm starting. You guys can't really see all that well, but the new Hackintosh project that I'm starting probably sometime this winter, probably January, February, when I finally get all the parts. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing my little research and development on this guy, and it's Mac Pro's up, but yeah. This is the little sneak peek of the next Hackintosh project, Dell T3610. Gonna be doing like a budget build on that, see how much performance we can get out of it with budget parts. But yeah, coming back up to the Mac Pro. Let's see here, why isn't this on? Huh, it's weird. Display port's not working. Okay, all I had to do was just unplug and replug the cable. But let's go ahead and log in here, if I can type my password in correctly, and see what we got going on. And unfortunately, the Vega doesn't have a DVI port, so I can't use my 30-inch cinema display, but it is what it is. It's whatever. Deny. About this Mac. Come on. And let's see what we got going on here. Yep, mid-2010 Mac Pro, 2x 3.06, 6-core, 32 gigs of RAM, and the Vega 64, 8 gig. So, I'd say that was a pretty good success. Yeah, it works. Works good. Now I'm going to run some benchmarks on it, see what she does. Hopefully this will be a good improvement over the RX 580. Alright guys, well, in the middle of my benchmarks, so this is the RX 580 running Luxmark. And you can see it got 12,611. Look at the Vega. 28,812. Holy crap. I mean, look at that. That's insane, man. Just the difference in performance between these two is just ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish this video up. And I just wanted to let you guys know how crazy that was. Alright, so as you guys can see from the benchmarks, this card greatly outperforms the RX 580 in pretty much every single test that I ran. Obviously, it's due to the Vega 64's 64 compute units and it's HBM2 memory, but I'd say this card is a worthwhile upgrade for anybody anybody looking to do a lot of video editing on their machine, especially with the higher resolution stuff like 4K, You know, 1440p, 60 frames, stuff like that. Even 5K, hell. I haven't even tried 5K yet, but I know it could probably handle it. But yeah, usually I'd recommend people get the Vega 56, but I got this for pretty much the same price as the Vega 56, so can't really go wrong there. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. You know, it beat it pretty much all the benchmarks. It's a great card. People looking to do video editing, I might run some benchmarks later on that are just video editing, like DaVinci and Premiere, stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.